guys, welcome back. I'm excited to bring you today's video. It's actually pretty informal and I haven't even planned it out very much at this stage, but I want to put some things in the freezer in preparation for back to school. I want to make some waffles, some cookies, some different things like that. So I'm not really sure yet what all I'm going to make, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll have all of the recipes linked down in the description box for you. I will try to have most of them from Pinterest. That way it makes it easier for you and for me as well. So I'm excited. I know that I need to do better in this area. It's something that I struggle with. I should do better at meal planning and just anything that means doing it ahead of time so that it makes it easier for the actual, day of or whatever. So I'm trying to kind of get in that mode. My friend Addie Zook does that, Adeline Zook here on YouTube. She does that quite a lot, and she just kind of inspired me to do some of that myself. I think it'll make our life easier. So enough rambling, let's get into the video. So the first thing I'm making is waffles. I want to put a bunch in the freezer and possibly eat a few for lunch today, but I want to put some in the freezer. That way it's easy for breakfast, just popping them in the toaster. So I found a recipe that uses applesauce, butter, baking powder, cinnamon, salt. She said sea salt, but I don't have any of that, so I'm just using regular salt. And then eggs, flour, sugar, and milk. Pretty basic, but I am going to use this recipe and get started with that. It'll make like 18 to 20 waffles, but we will see. I have my waffle iron heated up, so I'm gonna start making them. I'm kind of doing this in stages. I can't do it all in one day, but I'm gonna make some cookie dough to put in the freezer. Also, I'll make a couple today, but I wanted to do this. I've actually never like frozen cookie dough before, I don't think. I often will freeze the actual cookies, but I think that it'd be really nice to just have the actual, balls ready to go. That way, it feels like a fresh cookie when you put them in the oven. And believe it or not, I went on Pinterest and somehow, what's going on over there?
She was gonna go outside.
Somehow, on Pinterest, a brown butter chocolate chip cookie turned up. And if you've been following me, you know that I love brown butter and adding it to things. So these are gonna be perfect. I have never tried them before, but I'll link the recipe down below and you can try them for yourself. So I think that's gonna add an extra yummy element to have brown butter in it. And she gives instructions on how to brown butter. If you don't know how to do it, it's very simple. Basically, you just cook the butter and stir it until it kind of becomes a brown color, like foamy brownish color. So it's really easy. So I'm gonna get started and I'll kind of let you see what I'm doing. She says to use a 1/4 cup, which is humongous. So I don't have a 1/4 cup cookie scooper, so I'm just gonna use, like a heaping thing full. I really wish I could have made a double batch because obviously this isn't gonna make a whole bunch, but I literally don't have enough flour or chocolate chips, so. Okay, I have yet to try them. Nick had one. The boys are itching to eat them. The next ones that I made for the freezer are smaller. These are just really big, so I'm gonna make them stretch a little bit further. And these are gonna go into the freezer for about an hour till they're frozen, then I can put them in a container that is airtight. See if I can find a piece for her. I gave her a little piece earlier. Here you go. Oh! You know those cookies that you buy and bake, or like you buy some cookies at like those bakeries and whatever? These are honestly, they have that texture. Oh my goodness. And the brown butter, you can definitely taste it. It's such a good element. I would highly recommend these cookies. So I'll have the recipe linked below. The carrots are probably healthier than chocolate chips, huh? Or cookies. Yeah. She doesn't seem to mind it. It probably feels good on her gums. Alright, I know this video is all over the place, but as is often the case with me, I decide I'm gonna make a certain thing and then I don't have the products for it, you know? I'm not a very good planner, and I like to do things spur of the moment, but then that means I have to go get food for it or I have to do without. So it's a Monday and I decided I'm gonna quick go run, get some stuff. I wanted some flour for some, I'm thinking making banana bread and putting some in the freezer because I have bananas that are overly ripe. So I had to get that, plus I needed chocolate chips, and I ended up buying quite a bit of other stuff. I went to several different places. I actually went to Pinecraft and went to their little fresh market there, and also stopped at their Dutchman, and then quick popped in at Detweiler's and I picked up a bunch of stuff. So I thought I would do a little grocery haul for you. I haven't done any in a long time, and these are pretty random, but I also wanted to put some snacks away for the boys' lunches, like pre-package them in little bags and stuff, just because that's, you know, a little cheaper than just buying the ready-to-go bags. So I am going to show you what I got, but first I wanted to mention, if you'll see, there's going to be a lot of Walnut Creek Foods products. I have been talking about a lot of their products recently. They are a company in Holmes County, Ohio, Amish country, and they're a big like manufacturing place, but they also have like Walnut Creek cheese. They have 2 locations up there, shopping places that you can go to. Definitely if you're up there, please stop in. It's worth your while. I will definitely recommend that. But before I go any further, they are sponsoring the video again today, and I'm very, very appreciative and grateful for that. I'll just tell you a little bit about their products. They try to make as many of the products themselves as they can, and they sell a lot of this stuff at places that you might not even think about. They're often in maybe like your bulk food stores, or even just like gas stations or little joints that you might not think of. So if you're ever in a store, keep your eyes open for the Walnut Creek Foods product label, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And if you've bought some since I've been talking about them, let me know. I'd be so curious to see if you found some of their products like locally and you didn't even realize it. They also sell a lot of like deli meats, cheeses, some things like that, and they have a website, the Walnut Creek Cheese website. I'll link that below if you do want to order some of it. They don't have nearly everything, but they do have some things that you can order from Walnut Creek Cheese. So I'll link that below. Make sure you check that out, and also just, you know, if you are in stores somewhere, check out some of their things that they have. I'd be really curious to know what you think about it. So it's a little bit of a random assortment here. I've got some chicken thighs. At Detweiler's I got some of these. I also picked up some of my tea. I have a recipe in my snacks and drinks video where I showed you guys how we make our garden tea, and I needed flour, as I mentioned. So I got some of that, and I got some cream of mushroom, cream of chicken, and some sweetened condensed milk Also, I have some chicken broth, some roll butter, and I have some of this frog jam. I have never tried this kind. It's figs, raspberry, orange, and ginger. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna taste. It seems like it should be good. I'm thinking of making like the little Uncrustables or freezing some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for school. I also needed some strawberry jelly, or we just needed some jam in general, so I got some strawberry as well. And this looked kind of good to me. It's peach salsa. So I got some of this as well as some tortilla chips, just for snacking. I picked up another bag of the noodles. I had to show you guys how we make the Amish style noodles in the last video, I think, that I did, the Amish style videos. So if you want the recipe for those like chicken noodles, go to that video. I also got some peaches, some fresh ones to eat. I think they said these were South Carolina peaches. I'm curious to see how closely they are related to like the contender peaches that I love. I don't know, I'll see once how they are. And some onions. And then I got some of these veggie crisps and also some popcorn. And my plan is to bag these, as I said, and kind of get them ready for school. And then I also got some smoked sausage, some marble cheese, and also some pre-sliced marble cheese. This could be like cut up into chunks, you know, like cheese sticks or whatever. And then I got some turkey breast. This was at Duttweiler's, off the bone honey ham. Walnut Creek Foods also does have like a whole line of deli meats and cheeses, but they aren't sold where I was today, so I just got some of this. And then I also needed some chocolate chips. They didn't have the regular big chocolate chips, so I just got these, which is fine because some of the recipes I'm using, I think the small ones will be just fine. And then I also got some of the mini M&Ms. So there's my haul. I am gonna put it away and hopefully get to some of my stuff this afternoon. I ended up having no sour cream and the recipe called for it, so I was like, what could I do to substitute that? I was thinking Greek yogurt could probably be used, but the only thing I had was vanilla, or like a honey vanilla kind. So I used vanilla, Greek yogurt, so we're gonna see how they work. And the recipe also normally would call for nuts. I did not put any in. Mine are just not really as much of a fan of nuts, so if you like nuts, put them in. And I put chocolate chips in these. You also could eliminate those or add them in if you want. So I'm gonna see how they turn out, and I'm gonna do mini muffins and like one loaf pan. I hope the loaf pan will turn out. We'll see. I guess, yeah, the yogurt could be to blame. If it doesn't, we'll kind of, I guess, test it out. But I'll leave the recipe in the description box if you are wanting one. So here are the muffins. They turned out really well, actually. Oakland ate most of one and we've been snacking on a few of them, so I probably won't have a lot to put in the freezer, but I am gonna put this loaf in the freezer. It didn't like rise very well, so I don't know, and it's appearing even kind of redder on camera, but yeah, I think it'll work. Just make sure you use sour cream if you are making the recipe. But even so, I think the vanilla gave it a good flavor, so it's not all bad. The next thing I'm gonna make is some mini corn dog muffins. The boys really like corn dogs, and I figured this could be a good solution for lunch. And I saw my friend Addie made some on her channel a while back, and I was like, yeah, that would be a really good idea. So Caden's gonna try and help me, and hopefully we'll like them. And Nick picked up some sour cream for me, so we're back in business. These things are actually really good. I don't often eat corn dogs at all, but I'm curious to see what the boys will say. I ran out of hot dogs, so I'm using some of the smoked sausage I picked up today. So I just packaged a bunch of snacks, which makes me happy because, you know, this will last a good long while. And they have a selection they can choose from. And I'm just gonna put them in this bin here that I'll put in the pantry. That way we can just grab them out, you know, in the morning whenever we wanna put some in lunches. So the next thing I'm gonna do is make some sandwiches to put in the freezer for the boys' lunch. I saw this from Jordan Page, friendcheaperfree.com. She freezes sandwiches. She does like peanut butter and jelly. I actually froze one and thawed it, and it looks good as new. So this is peanut butter and jelly, and then I'm gonna slice a couple of these. I don't think I'm gonna do all of them because I don't know if I have enough ham, but I wanna do some of them, and I think I might actually try it with some Amish peanut butter ones and see how it works. I made some for supper tonight, and I had a video on how to make this, my Amish church lunch video, so you can watch that if you want the recipe, but I think I'm gonna try it once and see how it works. I've never actually done it, so it's kind of an experiment, but then I'll also just do some regular with ham and cheese. And she said that you want to put the cheese in between the ham because it'll thaw better that way. I had sandwich bags, put them in there, and then also in a freezer bag, so hopefully this will last a while. And I also have some more out in the freezer as well, so I know they're not going to eat them every day, but at least, you know, some of the time. So I'm going to test one of these, and I generally wouldn't eat peanut butter on these type of sandwiches, but I'm running low on bread right now, so I'm going to put some meat down, then I'm going to put peanut butter in between the meat, because I don't want it to like get soggy or something, and so I think that'll work. The last thing I'm gonna make is some freezer boxes of like frozen peaches. I was thinking of doing like slush, and I actually have a video on that I did last year. I'll try to link that below. And I have some peaches here, and I'm thinking of, I don't have a ton of containers, but I think it'll be enough for what I have, and they're also just a little big. I should order some on Amazon, the kind that are actually just like disposable. These were really cheap. They're like from Dollar Tree, and they're actually a little big, so I probably won't fill them completely full because it's like, how much is in here? A cup, or actually you could put in a cup and a half almost, so definitely too much for little boys. But I also have a couple other ones that I could put them in. So I may do a couple with some blueberries. I usually just add some sugar to my peaches to kind of give them a little bit of a like soupy texture and to sweeten them. These are pretty ripe, but maybe just barely. So I am gonna slice them and put in the freezer what I can, because those are always handy to have in lunches. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful and informative and gave you some inspiration for, you know, your school year. Even if you don't send them to school, sometimes it's really helpful to have these things in the freezer and just being able to pull things out. So if you're new, hit the subscribe button. I would love that. I will be seeing you guys in my next one. Bye.